So, while I eat my wonderful breakfast that I made, I was thinking, let's have a chat. I get asked all the time, um, am I vegan or vegetarian? And hold on, this is so good. Mm, 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 mm. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid to eat in front of y'all. I love to eat, man. Anybody who knows me knows I eat a lot too. Anyways, so hold on. So I get asked a lot if I'm vegan or vegetarian. And my answer is no, not at the moment, anyways. I did try veganism. I tried vegetarianism for about 2 years. Then I tried veganism. I transitioned from that to veganism for a year. I did that actually all last year. And but now I'm back to eating meat and egg, honey, ghee, so certain plant proteins or animal proteins. And here's my take on it. I learned in my time of doing veganism, I actually spent like that whole year frequently in the forest with the mushroom and other plant medicine in different spaces. And for me, the spirit shared with me that, well, for me, when I did the veganism, for me, I was doing it very accurately, but it made me extra skinny. It made me feel really, really weak, and lowered my blood pressure even more. And though it did clean me, so it wasn't that it wasn't something that wasn't good for me. It was needed to get a good cleaning, but the spirit did share with me that for me right now, spirit told me you're about to be working really, really hard. Like my physical activity level is going to be heightened, and so the animal protein is going to be needed for my body type and what's going on with me, until I'm about 60 or 70 years old. This is what spirit has shared with me in my medicine healing. And they said, and it was said because my, at that time my physical activity won't be as much. I won't be working as hard, and that made sense to me. But what the spirit shared with me, the spirit of the mushroom, what shared with me was that they said continue to eat meat, but different than you did before. This time with reverence rather than how I did before. And so that means when I take the animal protein, they said, first of all, specific kinds. Like I only need like bison, fish, the egg is fine. It was like lamb, and I believe that was it. But it was like these quality type of meats, and in moderation. They said in moderation, like not every day, and then also to take it in with reverence. So when I eat this, I don't go and just gorge, no. It's now with giving thanks to the life that was sacrificed for my life, because that life that I'm eating is now transferring into me so that I may enjoy life. And so it's giving thanks and eating it with gratitude and gratefulness. Of course, it's delicious too, however you do. But here's my take on like veganism, vegetarianism, and other people, the way we eat. I don't judge either. I do plan on becoming vegan in the future, but Right now, my body's happy and thriving with what's happening. I only eat I eat a lot of plant protein things. Um, I keep an 80-20-ish diet, 80-20 diet, which I say, and I'll explain more of that in the future. And you know, for me, I know a lot of people become vegan because they want to save the lives of the animals. And I appreciate that, and I totally understand that, especially the way that the world is abusing the animals today to produce the protein for us and all this simply just for pleasure and not nourishment. It's ridiculous, and it's harming the earth, but I have to say that's also the same thing for the plant protein as well, for the plants. The plants are also alive. The plants are also life. I see the animal and the plant as the same. I don't see them as anything different. The animal has emotion. The plants actually have emotion too. They respond to you. They listen to you. When you speak, they respond. If you are quiet enough and make yourself sensitive enough to listen and hear, you can hear these things if you pay attention. They might not have the mouth to communicate like a moo as a cow does, but they speak to you. So if you have the ears to hear, you will be able to hear, right? So to me, not only do I take the animal protein with reverence and respect, giving thanks, but I also take the plants in this way as well, because they too are sacrificing their lives for my life. I'm transferring the life of that full-fledged living plant into me, and it's becoming my life and my living. And this is their purpose, though. This makes them so happy because that's why they thrive, for us to utilize, Same thing with certain animals. And so this is how I believe, this is what I feel. This is what I've come to understand in my medicine practices as well, plant medicine practice and healing. And so I've recently come to an attitude of neutrality, I think is the word, being neutral. Not for one side or the other side, but neutral. Really just understanding that we are both. We need both. Depending on, too, what you're doing, depending on what you're doing. If you are an athlete, or if you're someone who's very physically active, you need a lot more protein than the average person who's just sitting down every day, and you can get that protein in so many different ways. You can, have piles and piles of lettuce and, vegetables and whatnot. And if you can get that down with plant-based protein shakes or whatever, the amount you need, great. But then also, if you can't get that much down, the animal protein helps in it's an efficient way as well to get more protein in a smaller amount of mass, So either way is great, but I encourage the most to listen to your body. And that's where yoga has helped me the most. Yoga, they say, I feel like people think that yoga is a religion, and it's not a religion, though it is a spiritual practice. And the practice is becoming in union with the one, with the all, with God. It teaches you how to listen to your body, to the subtleties. It teaches you how to understand and listen to the language of the body, the mind, and the heart. So these three can come into union and open you up even more to utilizing the abilities that we have that are non-physical, to utilizing the senses that we have that are non-physical. So we got the physical senses, right? Sight, touch, taste, hearing, smelling. But we also have non-physical senses, like our intuition, like those psychic abilities and other things. And we can utilize those too. That's also a part of us. The physical and the non-physical is the whole thing, right? So back to, the veganism thing, vegetarianism thing. Presently in my life, I am consuming plant and a large amount of plant protein, but also a little bit in moderation, the animal protein and of high quality sources. I do my best doing that. It's not always perfect, I can guarantee you that, but the majority of the time, like I said, 80-20 is my motto. And I like to support local. I like to support those companies that are doing things ethically to the animals and the plants as well. Not just animals. Plants also needed to be treated well as well. Otherwise, we're getting lettuce and greens that have minimal vitamins and minerals in it, because they're not being treated well also. Just because it's a vegetable that you get from the store doesn't mean it's actually doing something for you. Great, because there's a bird or something flying up top on the roof. Oh, yep. Hi, bird. I see you. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There he is. Where'd he go? Oh, yeah. He was there. Anyways, he left. But yeah, so this is my take on it, and that's just where I am. So how do you eat, or how do you plan to eat? What changes are you thinking about making, or have you made? How did you do them? And what made you think, feel, and be this way? I'm interested to know.